Now we have the model set up. Now we want to run the solver. Okay. And solver is under data. So if you click the data tab, you will see solver here. If you don't see solver here, so that means solver is not switched on. Okay. Solver is part of Excel. It doesn't get switched on automatically. So you need to go to File, Options. Okay. Under Options, you see add-ins here. So click add-ins and Excel add-ins. Okay, if you click Excel add-ins, and you will see solver there. And of course, for me, it is already checked, and that's why it is visible. But if it is not visible, you won't see a check mark here. So you need to put a check here and click OK, and solver will appear at that point. Now, if you're a Mac user, then I have a link in Blackboard. You need to go through that link to figure out how to switch on solver. Before we get into solver, let's give some names here. So this is number to produce, and if you control click, you can highlight non-contiguous areas like this. Okay, so create, so that is done, and then hours used and hours available. Then this time your name comes from top row, and we will define a name for this cell, which is total profit. So we'll do total profit. Okay. Then we can go to solver. Now you see this dialog box. The first thing is the objective function, that is called set objective, which is this. And we want to maximize that because that is profit. Changing cells, or by changing variable cells, that's our decision variable. And our decision variable is these two cells. And then we have the constraints. And we have two sets of constraints. So we want to, these two cells must be less than or equal to, so that's at the middle section, these two. Okay, so we are adding two constraints as one set here. So we click add, and then the hours used, that should be less than or equal to hours available, and we are done. Okay, two sets, two each, so hours available and number produced. And then we have to do two more things, and that is make unconstrained variables non-negative. So this will make sure that the decision variables are non-negative. Remember the non-negativity part, that is a requirement. And then here in this box, you should make sure that it is simplex LP, simplex linear programming, not GRG nonlinear. So it should be simplex LP. So that's it. If you have some additional things to set, then you can go to options. If you go to options, you'll see the constraint precision. We talked about scaling. You have automatic scaling, and then if you have integer constraints, you want to make sure that this is unchecked. Of course, right now we don't have integer constraints. Okay, but if you do have integer constraints, then you want to uncheck that. All right. So in most cases, you don't have to go into options. This is sufficient. Now you click solve and make sure that you get this message: solver found a solution, all constraints and optimality conditions are satisfied. Now if you have infeasibility or if you have unboundedness, you will see an error message at this point. Now here we have an optimum solution. If you have multiple optimum solution, it's not going to tell you there is multiple optimum solution. It just simply give you one of those multiple optimum solutions. That's it. So here is the final answer for X sub 1 and X sub 2. We make 560 of basic, 1200 of XP, and this will be the total profit we will be making. Now when we run solver, we can request some special reports, okay, like this. Go to solver and you solve. Once solver finds the solution, and here are the reports that you can request. Now, for linear programming, only the first two reports are important. We will not check limits. So just click and then click again for sensitivity. Now click OK. Now that will generate two additional tabs. One is answer report and then sensitivity report. We will look at these two reports in the next video.